Hi everyone, and welcome to today's 4th grade informative writing lesson. Today we're on section 2, lesson 30. My name is Mrs. Cullum and I'll be your teacher for today's lesson. I am so excited to have all of you here, so let's go ahead and get started. In the last lesson, you worked on writing topic sentences. Remember that I went over 3 parts. You can see on the right side of the screen, I have the 3 parts listed and color-coded. The transition word in pink, prompt in blue, and topic of paragraph in green. At the top, I have an example there for you that we wrote using the alligator passages. If you look at that topic sentence, it says, first, there are 2 different species of alligators. You can see I color-coded the transition word in pink, the topic of that paragraph in green, and the prompt in blue. You always want to make sure you have all 3 parts for every topic sentence. Remember, those topic sentences are the first sentence for each middle paragraph. You will always write a topic sentence for T1, a topic sentence for T2, and a topic sentence for T3. And now that you've learned the first sentence of each middle paragraph, we're going to start writing the middle paragraphs today. I'm going to show you exactly how to set them up and where to get your information from. So let's go ahead and get started. Today's objective, you're going to practice writing middle paragraphs for an informative essay. So we're going to work on T1, T2, and T3. Remember, when you look at that ITC outline, the first paragraph is the I paragraph. We already learned how to do that. And now we're going to learn T1, T2, and T3. And then all we'll have left is the C paragraph. So let's go over the structure of each middle paragraph. The T1, T2, and T3 structure is topic sentence, 3 to 4 about A, and 3 to 4 about B. Don't worry, I'm going to explain that to you. What this means is the first sentence of each middle paragraph is your topic sentence. We know that. Then you're going to write 3 to 4 sentences about your A. Remember from your planning, your A's and B's. And then you're going to write 3 to 4 sentences about your B. Now let me show you something underneath the document camera that may help you understand this a little bit better. Here's our planning we've been using for a few lessons now. I'm going to get a black marker so you can see this. Now, I told you that every middle paragraph is going to have a topic sentence, which we call T. It needs to have 3 to 4 sentences about A and 3 to 4 sentences about B. Okay, I have to do this for T1. I have to do this for T2. And I have to do this for T3. It's the same structure for all 3 middle paragraphs. Now let me show you exactly where you're going to get the topics for every single part of this structure, okay? Take a look here. Let's just look at T1 right here. Okay, let me see if I can put some paper around to help you stay focused. We're just looking at T1. We already know this is my topic sentence, my T. We already learned how to do that, okay? Then I'm going to write 3 to 4 sentences about the American alligator. And then I'm going to write 3 to 4 sentences about the Chinese alligator. And that is how I get my T, 3 to 4 about A, and 3 to 4 about B. What that means is I have to write 3 to 4 sentences about A, and 3 to 4 sentences about B. I can write more. The 3 to 4 is just the minimum. I want at least 3 to 4 sentences about your A, and then at least 3 to 4 sentences about your B. Okay, same thing. If I come down here, we can look at T2. When I go to write T2, this is going to be my topic sentence. We already know how to do that. Then I'm going to write 3 to 4 sentences about them being cold-blooded and 3 to 4 sentences about them laying eggs. And same thing with my T3. This word here is going to be my topic sentence. And then I'm going to write 3 to 4 sentences about them in freshwater and 3 to 4 sentences about the holes that they create. This is why I said in the very, very beginning that your planning is your roadmap, and it's going to tell you every single sentence throughout your entire essay exactly what you need to write about. Okay, so what I just went over with you is each middle paragraph has a topic sentence. It has to write 3 to 4 sentences about A, and then 3 to 4 sentences about B. Now I take this and I just write a quick way to remember, this is the way that I teach all students. I just say T, 3A, 3B. Okay, just it's easier to remember. And you know that means topic sentence. That means write 3 to 4 about A, and that means write 3 to 4 about B. But it's just easier to remember T, 3A, 3B. That's what you write for your T1, that's what you write for your T2, and that's what you write for your T3. So if you ever forget what to do, you can just remember T, 3A, 3B. Topic sentence, at least 3 to 4 sentences about my A, and at least 3 to 4 sentences about my B. So using those alligator passages, I want to do a little bit of practice through these paragraphs with you. So I'm going to use what I call boxed paper. I love this paper, especially in the beginning, because it helps me organize my essay. Okay, so you can look up here on the document camera, and it helps me organize, and it shows, you know, how much, and helps me organize all the information in each paragraph. Like, I'm only going to talk about the topic 1 information in this box. I'm only going to talk about the topic 2 information in this box. That way I'm not jumping around different topics. So let's start with the introduction. Okay, we learned how to do that a few lessons ago. We know how to do that. So if I look at the planning, because I'm going to need my 3 topics, I know my 3 topics are species, reptile, and habitats. So let me go ahead and get 3 colors and write the introduction paragraph. Okay, I'm going to start with a question. I'm actually going to pose it as a fact, but it is a question. I'm going to say, and I got this information from the articles. Did you know that the largest ever recorded alligator measured 19.2 feet? Okay, I like starting off with that because now people are going to go, what? I want to read more about that. Okay, then I'm going to do my 3 topic sentence. So I'm going to say, alligators are interesting because there are 2 different species. They are a type of reptile, and they live in various habitats. Now, I used a marker that was way too big. I shouldn't have done that because now I ran out of room, but I'm going to squeeze my closing sentence in, and I'm going to put that in, let's do pink. Alligators aren't as scary once you learn more about them. Okay, so that's my introduction paragraph. We learned that a few lessons ago. I'm going to check a couple things. I'm going to check that I indented. I'm going to check that I did a hook. That's in brown. I named my 3 topics, and then I put a closing. Now remember, I could have also done it the other way, where I just did my hook and then I did my 3 topics in 2 or 3 sentences. But for this time, I did it the option number 1 that we had learned. So now I'm going to go into my topic 1 paragraph, okay? I know my first sentence. I'm going to put a little cheat key over here. I have to do T, 3A, and 3B. So I'm going to start with my T. Okay, we did this before as well. So I'm going to say, I'm going to get a smaller pen. I'm going to indent because I'm starting a new paragraph. I always have to make sure I indent. And I'm going to say first, comma, there are 2 different species of alligators in the world. Okay, that's my T. So I'm going to put a little check. That's my topic. I'm also going to check my topic sentence and make sure that I put a transition word. I did. Make sure that I stated the prompt, alligators, I did. And make sure that I stated the topic for topic 1, which is species. I did. So my topic sentence is perfect. Now I need to write at least 3 to 4 sentences about my A. If you look back on here, what is my A? What is my A on the planning for T1? My A is American. So I need to write 3 to 4 sentences about the American alligator. But I cannot write stuff that I just know off the top of my head. I have to write stuff that's from the text. This is when we're going to go back into the text and we're going to go paraphrase information that we get from the text, okay? This is the first part of text-based writing that you're going to be learning how to take information from the text and then write it in your essay. So I have to write 3 to 4 sentences about my A, and my A is the American alligator. I know exactly where it is in the passages because I boxed and labeled. So I know here's the information about species, and I know my A American is right here. So I'm going to go through here, and now I'm going to take information and I'm going to paraphrase it. Okay, paraphrase it in my own words. That means I have to put it in my own words. I have to change it around. I cannot copy. Okay, I have to paraphrase it in my own words. So let's go ahead and do this, okay? I'm going to follow along with me as I go through and I find this. So I'm going to start, because you can see here, there are 2 species of known alligators in the world, the American alligator and the Chinese alligator. The American alligator can be found in the wetlands of the southern United States. So I'm going to start, I have to write 3 to 4 sentences about my A. I'm going to start by telling my reader what my A is, okay? So I'm going to say, the most well-known type of alligator is the American alligator. Now that is 1 sentence about A. So I'm going to come over here next to my 3. I'm going to put 1 check. I got to put at least 3 checks. Remember, I have to write at least 3 to 4 sentences about A. Okay. Now I have to teach or explain to my reader more about the American alligator. Okay, because my first sentence of A told what A is. Now I've got to tell more about the American alligator. Now, it's talking about that they lived in the wetlands. It's also talking about that they were listed under the endangered species. And it's also talking about that it was illegal to hunt them. Right there, alligators. So I'm going to take all of that, okay, and write some of my own sentences. So the first one I'm going to say, because I can't write exactly what it says, I'm paraphrasing it in my own words. So this one says, the American alligator can be found in the wetlands of the southern United States. So I'm going to say, the American alligator lives in the wetlands of the United States. Okay? I didn't write exactly. They said the American alligator can be found in the wetlands of the southern United States. I took that sentence and I put it in my own words. I said the American alligator lives in the wetlands of the United States. Okay? That's 2 sentences about A. I need at least 1 more sentence about the American alligator. Now, down here it talked about that they were listed under the Endangered Species Act, and that hunting was illegal. So I'm going to make my own sentence about that. I'm going to try to put them side by side for you so you can see how I make my sentence. Okay, so there's the sentence from the text. I'm going to put it into my own words. I'm going to say, it was listed under the Endangered Species Act, and it was illegal to hunt them. Okay, that's my third sentence about A. So I have at least 3 to 4 about A. Again, you can see here, I did not copy the text. The text said they were listed under the Endangered Species Act, making hunting alligators illegal. I took that and put it in my own words. I said it was listed under the Endangered Species Act and it was illegal to hunt them. Okay, my own words. Now I'm done with A. I could write another one if I want to, but do I have 3 sentences about A? Let's see. 1, there's 1 period. 2, 3 periods. Yes, I have at least 3 about A. First, I told what my A is. The most well-known type of alligator is American alligator, and then I told more about it so I could teach my reader. Okay, now I have to write at least what? 3 to 4 sentences about B. Okay, so my B is Chinese alligator. I have that part boxed as well. So let's start writing for that. I'm going to tell my reader what B is first. Another type of alligator species is the Chinese alligator. I always like to start by just telling my reader what A is and what B is. Okay, so that's 1 sentence about B. I'm going to put a check next to B. I always like to keep track of things right here. Okay, now I got to tell my reader, explain and teach more about the Chinese alligator. Okay, so I'm going to go in there, and if you look right here, it talks about it's an endangered species. It can be found in the subtropical regions of China with low-lying areas such as rivers, streams, and marshes. It's critically endangered, decline in population. The Chinese alligator are very similar. Okay, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to say the Chinese alligator is very similar to the American alligator in appearance, but they are much smaller. So I'm going to write the Chinese alligator looks similar to the American alligator. However, these reptiles are much smaller. Okay, that's 2 sentences I just said about B. So I took this sentence, I want you guys to look at this. The Chinese alligator is very similar to the American alligator in appearance, but they are much smaller. And I put it in my own words. I said, the Chinese alligator looks similar to the American alligator, period. However, these reptiles are much smaller, period. Just putting it into my own words. Now I have 3 about B. I could be done, but I'm actually going to add 1 more. There are also far fewer Chinese alligators than American alligators because they are listed as critically endangered. So you can see here it talks about this species of alligator is classified as critically endangered because it has a decline in population greater than 80% in specific areas of population. Okay, so I took that and I said there are also far fewer Chinese alligators than American alligators because they are listed as critically endangered. Okay, so I just took the information that I read and put my own words. So I actually have 4 about B on that one. So if I look at my little list right here, I wrote my T sentence, I wrote 3 about A and 4 about B. As long as I have 3 to 4 about A and 3 to 4 about B, I'm fine. Okay, so I have, if you're looking at the colors, my green is my topic sentence. My 3 sentences in pink are my 3A, and my 4 sentences in blue are my 4B. All right, let's go on and do T2 together. What is the first sentence called? Who remembers what the first sentence is called? The topic sentence. So I'm going to do what? Can I start right here? No, I have to indent. I'm going to indent, and I'm going to start it with what? What do I start the topic sentence with? Transition word. I'm going to say second, and my T2 is that they are a type of reptile. So I'm going to say second, alligators are animals classified as reptiles. Okay. Second, alligators are animals classified as reptiles. Oh, and I forgot to put my little key over here. I have to do T, at least 3 to 4 about A, and at least 3 to 4 about B. So I did my topic sentence. Now I'm going to write my at least 3 to 4 sentences about A. So I'm going to go to my passages, and I can see right here, this is where my T2 is, that they're a type of reptile. I can see where my A is, and my A is cold-blooded. So first I'm going to tell my reader what A is. I'm going to say alligators fall into, this marker's too big, I'm going to change this one. Fall into the category of reptiles because they are cold-blooded. Okay, so you can see right there, that's where I got the information from. This is about alligators being reptiles and that these animals are cold-blooded. So I put that into my own words. I said alligators fall into the category of reptiles because they are cold-blooded. That is one sentence about A. Now I got to keep writing more about cold-blooded. Now I'm going to take this definition. Cold-blooded, this means their body temperature depends on the environment and their skin covered with hard scales that serve as protection for the family. I'm going to put that in my own words. I'm going to say cold-blooded means their environment controls their body temperature and they have scales for protection. Again, I'm just taking it and putting my own words. Now, I want you all to see. I'm going to highlight exactly where I got that from. Here's the sentence in the essay, or in the passages. And then in pink, I want you to see how I rewrote it in my own words. Okay, so this one, in the passage, it says these animals are cold-blooded. This means that their body temperature depends on the environment, and their skin is covered with hard scales that serve as protection for the animal. In my own words, I said, cold-blooded means their environment controls their body temperature and they have scales for protection. I took this, I summed it up, and put it in my own words. That is paraphrasing. Okay, please know that everything I'm writing in my A's and B's is coming straight from the text. So I'm going to put another check because now I have 2 sentences. And then there's one more thing I want to add that was in the passages. It says they have to keep warm by laying in the sun. So I'm going to say, when their body temperature is too low, they warm up by laying in the sun. Okay, again, I took what it said here, put them right beside so you can see. It says they have to keep warm by laying in the sun. Okay, so I said when their body temperature is too low, they warm up by laying in the sun. Now let's see how many sentences I have for A. Go here, there's period 1. Period 2, and there's a third period, so I have 3 about A. Okay. Now I'm going to move to my blue pen, and I'm going to write 3 about B. And my B, what is my B for T2? Eggs, right? I'm laying eggs, so I have to write at least 3 to 4 sentences about my B for T2. Ooh, there it is. Okay. I always have to have passages where I mapped out exactly where to find it. I know exactly where I'm going to find information about habitats. Oop, not habitats, the T2, which is how they lay eggs, right here. See the B? Okay. Similarly, and I'm going to take this right up here where it says most reptiles lay eggs. Okay? Okay, so similarly, alligators are classified as reptiles because they lay eggs in nests. Okay, so I took what it said up here. Most reptiles lay eggs. Alligators tend to create nests from nearby vegetation to keep their eggs safe. I took those 2 words and I paraphrased it into my own words, and I said, similarly, alligators are classified as reptiles because they lay eggs in nests. Okay, now if I keep reading, it talks about the sex of the baby alligators is determined by the temperature of the nest. So I'm going to put that in my own words. One more time. The sex of the baby alligators is determined by the temperature of the nest. So I'm going to say baby alligators are either male Oh, I ran out of room again. I need to write smaller. Male or female based on the temperature of the nest the eggs are in. Okay, so I took, and again, this is all about finding information and putting it into your own words, so you cannot copy. Okay, you do not want to copy. That's plagiarism. That's a felony. You do not want to do that. Okay, so I put right here, it says, the sex of the baby alligators is determined by the temperature of the nest. Okay, if the nest is cooler, it'll produce a clutch of female hatchlings. If the temperature is above 93, it'll produce male hatchlings. So I took that and I said, baby alligators are either male or female based on the temperature of the nest their eggs are in. I took that information, I put it in my own words. Okay, so now I have 2 sentences about B. Am I done? I've got 2 sentences, right? I can go on to T3 now? No. Hopefully you said, no, you can't. I need to have at least 1 more sentence about my B. Okay, so I'm going to talk about a little bit where it said it'll produce, if the nest is cooler, it'll produce female. If it's above 93, it'll produce male. If the nest is above 93 degrees, the eggs will be male, and if it is cooler than that, the eggs will be female. Same information, I just put it in my own words, okay? I really, really want you guys to see this today, and we're gonna work more on this in future lessons, but I really want you to see how I'm taking information from the text, I'm just changing around a little bit and putting my own words. It's the same information. I just did not copy anything, okay? I took words and put them in my own way. Okay, again, this said if the nest is cooler, it will produce a clutch of female hatchlings, and the temperature is above 90. And if the temperature is above 93 degrees Fahrenheit, the eggs will produce male hatchlings. So I wrote, if the nest is above 93 degrees, the eggs will be male, and if it's cooler than that, the eggs will be female. Same information. And that's my 3rd sentence about B. So I have T, 3A, and 3B. And last is my T3, and my T3 is habitats. What do I start with? Transition word, and I have to indent too. So I'm going to say 3rd, comma, alligators are adapted to live in various habitats. I have my transition word here, my prompt here, and my topic here. So I have all the parts that I need for a topic sentence. By the way, did you notice that I'm sticking with the same color coding system? I'm putting all of the topic sentences in green. So green, green, and green. I'm putting all the A sentences in pink and all the B sentences in blue, so we can quickly see that we have all those parts. Okay, so now my A, if I go back to my planning, my A is freshwater, my B is holes. So I got to talk about freshwater. So I'm going to go back where it talks about freshwater, right here. if you look right here, it says you can find alligators, or American alligators can be found in freshwater environments like rivers, lakes, ponds, swamps, and marshes. They also like to live in areas that are brackish, which means the water is slightly higher in salt content than fresh water. So I'm going to take that, I'm going to make my own sentence. I'm going to paraphrase it into my own words. You can find alligators in freshwater habitats like rivers, as well as brackish habitats like swamps. Okay, so I took the information I just went over with you right here, and I put it in my own words. Now, I'm going to put the little key over here, T, 3A, 3B. My topic sentence I did, so I'm going to go ahead and put a check next to that. And now I have one sentence about my A, because my A is about freshwater, and I'm going to keep going. Brackish means the water is saltier than fresh water, but not as salty as seawater. Okay, so you can see right there that it says brackish, which means the water is slightly higher in salt content than fresh water, but not salty like seawater. I took that and I made my own sentence. Okay, I want you to see, I took that and I said, brackish means the water is saltier than fresh water, but not as salty as seawater. But again, it says that here. I just took it in a different way and rewrote it and paraphrased it. Now I have two sentences about my A. Now I'm going to do one more. Okay, so after it's talking about the freshwater, the rivers, lakes, ponds, swamps, it says alligators tend to stay in marshy areas during the breeding season. The wetlands make nest building much easier for the alligators and keep the temperatures of the nest ideal for incubating their eggs. So basically it's saying all these places are part of the wetlands, and this is what they need for their nest building, and it's easier for them to take care of their eggs. All right, so I'm going to take all of that and I'm going to put my own sentence. I'm going to say, freshwater and brackish water habitats are the perfect place for alligators to live and lay eggs. Because remember, it was talking about that the ponds, the lakes, the streams, the rivers, all these wetlands are what they need for breeding season, and it helps them build their nests and take care of their eggs. So I just made my own sentence and said freshwater and brackish water habitats, which is everything they just named, are a perfect place for alligators to live and lay eggs. So I want to make sure I have at least 3 sentences. There's one period, that's 1. Here's another period, that's 2. And period there, that's 3. I had 3 about A, so I can go to B. Remember, it's 3 to 4 about A, so you can write more. Okay, and my B is about the holes that they make. American alligators create holes in their swamp habitats. They construct these alligators' hole by using their feet, tail, and snout. These holes create areas that help the alligator stay cool during hot weather. Alligator holes also provide habitats for other animals. So I'm going to say, let me get my blue marker for you. Another habitat, alligators live in our holes that they create in swamps. That's one about B. Okay, now it talks about they construct these holes by using their feet, tail, and snout. So I'm going to say they dig these holes by using their body parts such as their feet and tail. Okay, so I just want you to see real quick. There's a sentence. I just highlighted in yellow. They construct these alligator holes by using their feet, tail, and snout. I rewrote that in my own words. I paraphrased it and I said, they dig these holes by using their body parts such as their feet and tail. See? Same information, I'm just rewriting it in my own words. That is called paraphrasing. We're paraphrasing everything. All right, so now I have 2 sentences about B. I need one more sentence. And so what it says is, these holes help the alligator stay cool during the hot weather, and it provides habitats for other animals during droughts. So I'm going to say, alligator holes are very useful because they help alligators keep cool in the hot weather, and also camouflage them from their prey. Okay? You can see everything is coming from this box here. I labeled it as my T2. I labeled my A's and B's at night. I labeled my A's and B's. I did not say night. I said the A is going to be freshwater and the B is going to be the holes. I'm getting all my information from exactly where I boxed it off. I'm going back. I'm putting it in my own words, okay? You've got to make sure you're not copying. This is called paraphrasing, that you're putting it in your own words. Okay, let's go through here. Make sure there's nothing else that we want to write. I think we have enough information. Okay, so I have 1 sentence, 2, 3. I have 3 about B as well. Okay, so you look at all 3. All of my topic sentences are in green. All of my A sentences are in pink. And all of my B sentences are in blue. And for every middle paragraph, I have T, 3A, and 3B. Okay, I have a topic sentence, at least 3 to 4 sentences about A, and at least 3 to 4 sentences about B. Now, this is not a complete middle paragraph. We're going to learn some other things, some other techniques that we can use. But this is the very beginning. This is like step 1 where we're paraphrasing. So paraphrasing is taking information and putting it into your own words, summarizing it and putting it into your own words. And that's exactly what you did today. All right, let's get back to the PowerPoint here. Okay. Now it is your turn. You're going to do the exact same thing that we did today. Okay, your paper looks like it says climates. Lesson 30 is at the top. I'm going to show you. It's the exact same paper that I just used, which is good. You get to have that box paper. See here, it says lesson 30. Okay, student practice homework. You're going to be using the climates. Now, we planned for climates a few weeks ago, so you should have that planning done. You can just copy it on here. And then you are going to write your I, which we did that before as well. So if you still have that, you can copy it. You're going to write your T1, your T2, and your T3. You're not going to write C, okay? You can just put an X over C. You don't have to do that yet because we did not learn it. I also want you to, before you start, next to your T1, write T3A, 3B. Next to your T2, T3A, 3B. And next to your T3, T3A, 3B. Okay, and that way, as you are writing the paragraphs, I want you to check off, just like I would, to make sure I had all those parts. Okay, I also want you to make sure that you are not copying. Please make sure you're changing it around, putting it into your own words, making it your own. Okay, you do not want to be copying. That is not paraphrasing. Okay, I'm going to leave you with that assignment to complete for the rest of your class time today and as homework. So if you have some class time, you can work on it. If not, you can just do it for homework. So remember, you're going to be doing T1, T2, and T3, and you're going to be doing a topic sentence, at least 3 to 4 about A, and at least 3 to 4 about B, in each middle paragraph. So let's end today's lesson by saying everything new takes time to learn. You tried something new today, be proud of yourself. Today was brand new, and it is going to take time to learn. I do not expect you to be perfect at it by the end of today's lesson, but you are working on it. We are going to keep practicing. You have the homework today to practice a little bit more. You can come back to this video as much as you need. If you need to go back and go over when I was modeling it to take another look at it, that is perfectly fine. All right, you did awesome today. I will see you in the next lesson.